What's good, YouTube? It's KB with Just Do Boxing back with another video. I want to give my thoughts on the fights that took place at the Prudential Center this weekend. First bout between Bossman Kenneth Sims Jr. and Keeyshawn Williams. Kenneth Sims coming in 16-2-1, 5 KOs, 5'10", 69-inch reach, 28 years old. Keeyshawn Williams coming in 8-0-1, 2 KOs, 5'10", 68-inch reach, 24 years old. Both orthodox fighters. And let's get into Sims' most recent victory. He's coming off a win versus previously unbeaten Elvis Rodriguez, who he fought back in May 22nd of this year. Rodriguez was the favorite and he was expected to win, but he was upset by Sims in a competitive scrap, which he won by majority decision. Sims was able to fight smart behind his jab. He showed a lot of patience and good foot placement, which proved to be important in this fight because Elvis was never able to mount a consistent attack. He did well landing single shots through the course of the fight, but rarely landed with combinations. Ultimately, it was Sims Jr. experience, his timing, patience, and like I said, good foot placement and keeping Elvis all balanced and not allowing him to set his feet to get his power shots off. And because as a result, he was able to neutralize a lot of what Elvis wanted to do. He ended up having, competitive but sort of flat performance because he just wasn't able to make the proper adjustments to give Sims much of a problem. I mean, maybe after the third round, I think Sims Jr. started to pull away from him. It was an 8-round fight. I think I would give Elvis maybe 2 to 3 of those rounds, and I would give the other 5 to Sims Jr. And like I said, Elvis was just never able to land anything of note, anything that would deter Sims. Like he kept coming, he stayed on the front foot. He pressed him when he wanted to. I mean, he boxed when he wanted to. He had an all around a great performance. And one thing I noticed about Sims in his fight against Rodriguez is how good of an inside fighter he is. He did it. I mean, he did a hell of a job in the inside and taking a fight to Elvis, which I didn't think he expected, and he just wasn't able to make the adjustments. And another thing I noticed, even though the fight was won by majority decision, I feel like you could make an argument that it was a unanimous decision. Sims Jr. giving Rodriguez his first loss. I mean, Sims was very focused the whole night, the whole fight. He was switched on, and it's no different from his Christmas Day performance that just passed this Saturday, going up against another unbeaten opponent in Keeyshawn Williams. And again, first thing I noticed was Sims Jr. focus. Like he was switched on, and you could see it in his eyes. I mean, from the opening bell, he was coming to win. He was coming to be impressive. He never took his eyes off the target. He was able to back Keeyshawn Williams down, and I think he landed a few hard body shots early that got the attention of Keeyshawn Williams, and I think it caused him to be on his back foot and do a lot more moving than maybe what he intended to do. And I felt like once Williams realized he was losing the fight, he started to try to sit down in his punches, but it was a little too little, too late. I think, like I said, Sims was switched on from the opening bell. He fought patient again behind his jab after losing the first round, a very close round. You could arguably make a case that Sims Jr. won 7 straight rounds out of an 8-round fight. He had a close competitive first round where Keeyshawn seemed to come out a little fast. Sims Jr. was able to, keep his head, stay calm. And like I said, he fought behind that jab, and he just made it a difficult night for Keeyshawn Williams. He landed body shots, a lot of left hooks and overhand rights. I mean, it just wasn't much Williams was able to get off. I mean, he was competitive. He fought hard. He never gave up, but he just wasn't able. He wasn't able to get much done. I mean, Sims Jr. His full skill set was on display. You know, his jab, his patience, his foot movement. You know, him going to the body, which I think, like I said, I think that got Keyshawn's respect early. Him going to his body, and he had him on the back foot. When he wanted to be on the front foot, he was on the front foot. When he wanted to walk him down, got to a point in the fight where Sims Jr. started to walk Keyshawn down, and he was landing some pretty hard shots. He was sitting down in the shots, and you started to see Williams' face reddening up, and he showed a lot of heart. You know, he never gave up. He never quit. He fought hard, but I just think Sims' experience and his experience, and he had a better game plan. I mean, him and his dad did an amazing job. They did a great job, man. They executed their game plan to perfection. And like I said, you could argue, you could make a case that Sims Jr. won 7 straight rounds, boxing behind that jab, showing a lot of focus. I mean, like I said, his full skill set was on display. I think the early success to the body caused some problems for Keyshawn. I think that got his respect and his attention early. Also, with a few left hooks and straight right hands that Sims landed over and over. You know, he landed the bigger shots, knocking Williams off balance for most of the fight. And like I said, when he wanted to, he took the fight to Williams, and he had no answer. Did a poor job of making any adjustments, and you know he now he got a blemish on his resume. He was coming into this fight undefeated. Now his record, he falls to 8-1-1 with 2 KOs, and I think he'll be back for sure. I mean, he's very, very young. It's only his first long. He's only 24 years old. He's coached by Coach Calvin Ford, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis trainer. So I think he got a hell of a team, strong team behind him. And I think, you know, he just go back to the drawing board and get better. I think that's something that he's definitely going to do. You know, he's young. He got a lot of time to get better. With Sims, on the other hand, you know, he's fighting. This is his second undefeated opponent in a row that he beat. And like I said, he took the fight to Williams and almost pitched the shutout. I mean, it was a great win for Bossman, Kenneth Sims Jr. and his team, man. They did an amazing job. And I had the pleasure of going back to the hotel, you know, just mingling and met his family, all good people. They're from Chicago. They're all good people, real nice people. And all in all, it was a good night of boxing. I mean, you also had Joey Spencer fight that night, and he recorded about a 5th round knockout. You know, he did a hell of a job as well. You had the young prospect Trayvon Marshall in his 4th fight, and he got a stoppage victory. So that's one guy I think I will want to keep an eye on at junior middleweight. 2 junior middleweights to keep an eye out for, Joey Spencer and the young kid Trayvon Marshall. Both very talented fighters. Marshall being the younger out of the two, of course, but definitely 2 fighters to keep your eye on. He had a main event with Vito Milnicki and his opponent. I think that was more so like a showcase fight for him because his opponent was overmatched. And he ended up knocking him out, getting him out of there early. So, like I said, those some good fights this weekend. Just wanted to give y'all my quick thoughts, man, on the fights. And as always, y'all get in the comment section, like, comment, and subscribe, man. And get in the comment section and let me know if I gave Bossman, Kenneth Sims Jr. and Keeyshawn Williams their just due, because that's what I do over here at Just Do Boxing. And until the next one, I'm out. Peace.